baby, YouTube world. Y'all ready?
They got the camera cover and shit. They got the camera cover on the back of the phone. Oh, the camera.
I'm ready. I'm going live with my Jiffy right now. We Jiffy. Let's go, fast. We live. Mic check. 1, 2, what is this? You're now tuned to a perfect sense right here on UnifiedRadio.tv. One of 4 hosts, one of 4 moderators, one of 4 opinionated brothers that make up this podcast called In Perfect Sense. I go by the name of Eric. Mr. Dawson, you call me baby, please do not call me midget. To the left of me, got this sucker in here, Conway, the bully.
You already.
You know what I mean? To the right, we got Andy. Yell at the people, Andy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shout out to Flesh. Flesh isn't with us today. He's a little bit of R&R. He's out of state with his woman. And today we're doing something a little bit special because we're live from Instagram, we live from Facebook, we live from YouTube. We usually don't do this, but we want to have a little fun, interact with some people today, and do what the hell we do. So occasionally you'll see me yelling at people, saying hi on the Facebook and the Instagram. Shout out to Toya. Thank you for the compliment on the haircut. Everybody that's going to be tuning in. Like, look, this broadcast, this particular broadcast, especially if you tune in via YouTube, this shit will be deleted, you know what I'm saying, after we go off live. It'll be reposted later. And you can find it on Spotify and Apple and YouTube and the UnifiedRadio.tv website. So, fellas, now that I got all this bullshit out the way, how we feeling?
Good.
Everybody mental good?
Feeling great.
Everybody mental is great.
Absolutely.
Nah, mine ain't, but
everybody suck, huh?
Everybody mental great. Shout out to everybody that's checking in via the Instagram. I see y'all. I can't wave right now. But I'm glad y'all was great. I had a tough week. Very, very tough week. And I had to be transparent about a tough week. I'm not going to put my business out there what actually happened because that's really enough. But, you know, when it comes to Instagram and Facebook, people be pump faking like everything's sweet, everything's great every day. That ain't real life. That's not reality.
Big goofy shit.
Yeah, dumbass shit. But today we're gonna touch on something that we touched on last week. You know what I'm saying? Because Conway brought up a very interesting point on our last episode about men needing validation from other men, aka dick riding, or needing your dick rode. You claim to be heterosexual, but you need the dick rolled by another man. So let's unpack this. Like let's start from, first of all, what do you think you need validation from, or what were some of the things? Let me go with Andy first. When you were younger, because we all as men have searched validation from other men, even though nobody wants to fucking admit it. What did you need as validation when you were young? Adolescent coming up.
I wasn't want to be fucked with. I wasn't want to be fucked with. Like so far as
Cosmo associate shit, like
you coming up as a kid and people want to try you or test you or whatever, playing tough or whatever. I wasn't the one you just going to run up on and jack up or whatever. No, we ain't gonna do that.
But that's more self-awareness, not really validation, not searching for validation like from other men. Like when you say nobody fucking with you, that means if you pop off, you only popped off because you have an audience from other men. Is that what you mean?
No, I think if it's a situation, well, how can I put it? I guess because when I was younger and you want to go in and say, oh, this is what that kid or whatever, and you got to put hands with somebody, you have to make a personalized example. And then when you make a personalized example, other people from there and forth say, I ain't gonna fuck with.
But I mean, that's usually doing it like a peer pressure. So usually that means you did it for the crowd.
You did it for the crowd.
You did it for the crowd. You didn't do it for yourself.
In some ways, yeah.
What about you, Conway? Some of them things you search for validation on.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. Like I thought that, like when I look up to my big cousin, cuz, and like me, it was to the point where the old had the slickest fucking New Balances on, and I was like, yo, only way, even though he had me with him every day, only way I thought that I was gonna be validated with him because he's like, fuck you wearing them for, man, fuck that, now you like them? That I was like, let me get a pair of these motherfucking, you know what I mean? Gray. Back in the day with the original gray, with the they call them
the 996.
Yeah, 996 with the reflector. Yeah. You know what I mean? So when I got them bitches, he was like, yeah, cuz, see? And it was like, that shit made me feel like, damn, all right. Yeah. Like,
well, and I'm glad you touched on that pause because you brought that up the last episode we had. Everybody tuning in on the Instagram, Facebook, what up? I can't wait to everybody. But if you're just tuning in, we talk about men needing validation from men and get right.
Yeah, men
so,
I'm
glad you brought that up about the New Balance and you looking up to your cousin because that's one of the main things with men when it comes to fashion. We buying shit. Well, not me at this point, at this stage in life, but we were buying things to get props from other men. So when the new joints dropped, the new Jordans or whatever the fuck it was that was dropping, you had to have them. It wasn't the fact that you thought that they looked so good on you and you wanted them so bad.
Right.
It was the fact that you knew that to be up on it, you had to have them because your man was going to have them. And if your man going to have them, you got to have them. You know what I'm saying? It was that sense of being popular or being accepted by having the new shit instead of just standing on your own. So a lot of times we'll find ourselves in positions where a group of people are judge somebody that's totally dressed different. Right. But the motherfucker that's dressed different is the one that's really secure in himself or herself because they're not trying to look like you. Like when new shit drops, everybody looks the fuck.
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's let me think about that. I think my thing went in stages. I think when I was real young, it was like, all right, had to show that I was tough, whatever, because I didn't, my father died at a young age, and I had to show that I was one of those dudes. But as I got older, and then as I got older, I started looking at fashion. But I was always one of those people like, man, I see everybody being, looking like the same or whatever, everybody dressing fine, but it seemed like I wanted to go, actually step and say, I want to get something that people down here ain't really rocking. Like I hopped on Fubu early. Like
you were one of the
real early. Like, and I was like, oh, what's that? Yeah. He was like, where'd you get that from?
I mean, the funny thing, man, we can talk about culturally how things change. When they say we have jerseys, we on button ups and then switched up. Yeah. When Jim Jones validated the tight jeans with the biker chain on the jeans and a tight shirt, and then Lil Wayne elevated it, everybody went in that direction. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's men trying to impress other men. They're not doing it for women. You're not doing it for the attention of women. So if you're not doing it for the attention of women, how can you call yourself heterosexual? You're trying to, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to get another man to compliment you.
I'm on the way to first cast ass like something.
Right. Oh, and school shout out and anybody bluffing on Instagram and Facebook, like you went to school with me, like I had a cell phone in '96. Like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
that more shit was weird.
Like, but that's the thing though. Like what I said last time, right? It meant everything. Like men have to stop fronting like you dressing for women, bro.
I'm not dressing. You just gonna get props from another man.
Because truth be told, like, and I don't want no women to be like, oh, he's tripping, but a lot of men, we don't feel like we have to dress for you because you don't dress for us. Right. Like y'all go to Rainbow real quick, wear some shit that only cost $12, right? And expect us to have on $300 worth of outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing we really care about is the vibe. Like, especially not like our woman or something. Like, you out, like, yeah, we dating and shit. Like, oh, we gotta hit the box. You give a fuck what I'm wearing for you. But when you come outside, it's like your men be like, yo, your guys like, yo, yeah, your boy, I see you, sure. Like,
I see you with the Gucci belt on. I see you with the J's on. You want that stamp of approval from the dudes you hanging around. Like,
but you gotta think about it. Like, just think about this. How many times you go out on a date with a woman, right? And she say, yo, that Gucci belt flies a bitch. You boosting your head up more than your nigga.
Right. Not too much.
How many times you throwing that back in the day when the lows was the shit? How many women sat there and be like, oh, you look good in your low, da, 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 da. It was your niggas, bro. Where you get that low from, boy? That low. And then once that did that, it was like, shit, I gotta go cop another one that niggas don't got.
So that brings me back to the point. How can you call yourself heterosexual man if you're doing things for validation of other men? Like, yo, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yo, it goes way further. It goes way further than just fashion. We gotta let's talk about the street shit. Right. You know what I mean? A lot of issues between men can be resolved if two men just communicate and talk to each other. But when you sit up there trying to address problems in a group of people, right? Now the dick swinging. It's a dick swinging contest. Everybody wants to see who got the biggest ego. Right. Who's going to take it the furthest? Because taking it the furthest means you the real nigga. You the real man. And then pause on the nigga words, and I don't really like using that shit no more. I'm trying to get away from that when it describes us. But in the context of what we're talking, I got to drop the inbox. But even in that, it's a lot of dudes sitting behind bars on some dumb shit because, you know, they wanted to be validated by another man. They wanted to show that they was the killer. They wanted to show that they was the bully. They wanted to show that you didn't stand up and take nobody down for the protection of your woman or your family. Right. You did it because you had a dick swinging contest and the ego that you took. You couldn't stand up with. Yeah, sure. But I'm at the age right now, and I said this shit, and I'm gonna say this shit again. I'm too old to be fighting, dog. And that's straight up. You got a problem with me, like, you can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I got too much to lose. Everybody in this room got too much to lose. There's too much business on the table. You touch me, dog, you going to jail. Right. I can tell you out the rip. Like, I pay taxes to call 911. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me. Like, you touch me, I'm 5'7". You know what I'm saying? Some women think I'm cute sometimes, so you're not messing my face up. You know what I mean? You got to go to jail. You touch me, I'm not fighting no man in the street that's broke people shit. I just posted shit on the ground the other day, man. You know what I mean? Like, we all got dudes that's sitting behind bars because of some dumb shit.
There's a lot of motherfuckers sitting behind bars for some dumb shit. Like, people, the validation point of, like real shit. Like, a lot of motherfuckers wanted to sell drugs because they thought it was a validation of getting pussy.
Yeah. Or the validation of actually being accepted by everybody else that was doing it. Like, some people definitely stepped out there and jumped into a world that they didn't have to jump into. Right. You get what I'm saying? And any man that says otherwise growing up that you didn't get yourself or needed to be validated from another man, it's just stone cold fucking lying, bro. We did shit growing up that we didn't have no business doing. You know what I'm saying? But it was to prove something that we didn't do.
Yeah. And like you said, it was the gorilla effect. Like, all right, you think you did that shit? Okay. Thanks for you out next time. Gonna be 3 niggas. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, yo, we're fighting. Most of the times, though, we've been in the club fighting because we just was trying to validate that in this circle, like, I'm the toughest.
Think about one of the elements of growing up. Think about you hustling or doing dumb shit because you was ashamed to go to the store with a book of food stamps. But today, had an independence card, you accepted with that shit. You hustled to not show that you needed help in buying food, but now it's more socially accepted.
It's acceptable for getting government assistance.
I want food stamps. You know what I'm saying? For real. The way that I eat crab cakes and snow crabs, I want y'all.
Let's give it a buck.
No, but hold up, before you get into it, you ever go to the grocery store, right?
Mhm.
And you're using your cash, your hard-earned cash, right? You look at your card like, damn, man, I don't hardly got shit up in this bitch. Because somebody right behind you with the food stamps got 2 cards.
Right.
You're like, yo, I'm hustling backwards.
Yo, I
Bro,
ain't gonna lie, yo.
I dropped a quick 70 and he had shit in the car.
Weird,
Not a
yo.
motherfucker thing in the car.
Easy.
It's real easy. I
That's
said,
easy.
God damn.
Yo,
Now food stamps, all they doing is paying for their plastic bags now.
I ain't gonna hold it, yo. I wanted a whole new life.
Mm-hmm.
That they started giving kids that live with you a fucking
boy. Man,
Hold on. They give kids.
They giving kids on the food stamp. I almost put an application in.
I
And said
never
I
knew
had
that.
a 17-year-old
Really?
son. And had because I wanted the stamps. I want to know. I want the food
Wait a minute,
stamps.
hold on. So they giving kids cards like.
I want the food stamps, bro.
Bro, got cards.
I never
We out
knew.
there eating
Shout out to
big
everybody.
shrimp.
Wow.
We out here
I never
eating
knew that.
Big shrimp, crab legs,
The extra,
with a
the jumbo
fresh
shrimp. You ain't even getting. You're not even getting the
Yeah.
medium joints. You getting the big jumbo shrimp with the
Wow.
food stamps.
At one point, your wife used to have we get the one lobster, bro. She chop it up. Nigga, we get 2, 3 lobsters, bitch. Yeah. Throw that bitch in the little stir
But you ever notice like people that, and I know what's going on, but you ever notice people that sponsor cookouts with food stamps always have the best shit?
Oh,
They
yeah.
got the name. They got Pepsi, Sprites, Cokes. When it's
No
coming out your
Fantas,
pocket, and
no
then they got
Fantas.
chicken wings.
Mm.
When it's coming out your pocket, you buy chicken legs. You got Shasta sodas.
Yeah.
Shit that say cola. I'm like, yo, what the fuck that makes no
was just-
Henny
We
with
was
no
just
cola.
there. I had Shasta at my crib. Boy, now it's fucking Tropicana.
You did pull out a fifth of Douce.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go getting Douce on a joint.
You know what's so crazy? Talking about the Douce, all right? Like that's a validation point.
Oh yeah, problem bottles.
But
That's I can't do it.
no.
I gotta do it.
You know how we do it.
If I go to the club, it's bottle.
We in the club and it's like
I'm not
you
going to
already
the
know.
bar.
We already know like everyone, and it's not one nigga sharing like a bunch of niggas sharing one bottle. No, we bottled up. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like fuck the club. It's validation for a nigga to walk in your crib and be like, yo, this nigga got a big ass shit for you seeing this shit.
Big screen TVs,
big
all
screen,
the place.
Yo, bro,
You know
it's and truth be told, we not throwing that shit for no woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like we not like a big screen TV for a woman is impressive to her for what?
Because she can't fuck it. She's like, what a big dick at? That's what she want to know. She's like, fuck that big TV. Like,
And then on
what
top
that
of
big
that,
dick at?
and then let's keep it a fuck. A lot of women that other niggas fuck with, right? Don't drink these things. They don't Jamaican these crazy bitches.
The crazy thing you brought up that you say, you're right. That's another validation point because it's a popularity thing. It's just like drinking Ciroc, Patron, I can name 10 different liquors that kill Ciroc, that kill Hennessy and Douce, that don't cost as much as that shit. But the fact of the matter is, it's cheap.
It's that status.
Exactly.
It's that status. It's a different feel when you. I remember like when we used to club like that, and you get in and feel that feel, and you get those bottles and shit like
And
that.
them lights
and
on.
And them lights on, and the motherfuckers see them.
But who's looking at you more, the dudes or the women? Who's looking at you more?
Hold on, I'm about to get there. The women gravitate to the section, right?
Because they want to.
And then you see those dudes. You see those dudes that's down there in general population. Just give me those stares.
You
like,
up.
yo, the air feels different. Mm-hmm. The air is totally different because it's all eyes on us. Mm-hmm. But we always got to keep our daggone heads on the swivel because we just don't know.
Absolutely.
The haters in the room.
But that's the fuck. Like, real shit. A lot of motherfuckers get killed at the club because
of you having a good time and they couldn't afford that the time that you
they
had.
didn't have that validation that they, you know, man, like it's the fact that you got some people that you would consider squares popping all the bottles in the fucking joint. Mm-hmm. Down the chicks that you with, they dancing over there towards you these square niggas table. And it's like, the fuck is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the funny thing to bring the women into this, because I know we talking about men get grind on the men need validation, blah blah this, blah blah that. Shout out to first of all, shout out to everybody on Instagram and Facebook because y'all definitely checking in and tuning in.
Yeah, shout out to everybody.
Shout out, Wes.
But men need validation from other men. The biggest thing that men need validation from other men, and every man can attest to this, can admit to this, you need validation on proving to other men how much pussy you have gotten.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that conversations have happened
absolutely.
since virginities were lost.
Oh, absolutely.
Bragging on your dick.
Bragging on the dick.
Some dudes grew up bragging on their dick and didn't get no pussy at all. Right. But they did it for validation.
That's like, you don't even really have to say shit about it.
Mm-hmm. Not at this age. Now, at this age, I don't give a fuck who you know what I'm
talking back then.
Yeah,
you
back
never
then.
really had to say nothing. But it was like you had to tell somebody that you fucked somebody just to validate that you were fucking.
To validate that you were fucking and to validate that you was a real man.
Yeah. But it was only to your homies though.
Yeah, you didn't validate it to no women.
That's what I'm saying.
But then, go ahead.
And this time you don't even have to say anything. The town's so fucking small.
Well, that too. Because I mean, if we're talking about Baltimore, but on a global scale, that's just what men do. Period. Oh yeah. Now it's tough to run your mouth in Baltimore. You know, because Baltimore is a very small place, and social media makes it even smaller. So I don't know why dudes. First of all, at this age and era that we come out, people that's in our age group, why you still telling anybody who you fucking do? Right. I never understood that. Like,
what's up,
at this age, and why you still doing that? But that's the number one thing with men. You know what I'm saying? Is definitely telling another man who you fuck. And looking back at it, because we all done it growing up, got nothing out of it. Except a dude trying to go behind your back and go fuck shorty who you said pussy was so good or head was a missile.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the fucked up thing about it is some motherfuckers was lying, saying they was doing this shit, thinking that it wasn't going to get back to the person.
Right.
But
because men gossip,
yeah, the person that you told that shit to went back to shorty, like, and then when she ain't giving no pussy, damn, how you gonna give a man pussy? Don't give me that.
That's the go-to line.
This ain't shit out the wood. He said, man, I gonna be like Angie, but I know you gonna let me fuck. You let Angie fuck.
And look, Tree said,
shout out to Trees, reading some stuff.
Seems like pressure to fit in. Yeah.
It is.
I mean, yeah, and only now I can talk about is men fitting in because it seems like women don't even like women, but and I don't know, I don't know how they fit. Like, do they feel like they do shit? They do shit to fit in because a lot of these DLs they fit in with enough bitch, but.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's because what they would see out the magazines and say, this is what the opposite beauty is. So like they gotta fit their status quo.
But for me, it's like with the emasculation of men, like it already was in our blood. You know what I'm saying? To do what the other person said, to fit in. That it's easy for us to just start doing weird goofy shit. Like these little girls start wearing these little pants that metrosexual men wear over in Europe that are really gay and think it's fashion because you're trying to fit in because you think having this Alex.
Trying to fit in is a very uncomfortable way to live. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very uncomfortable. You're much easier living your truth, and if a person doesn't accept your truth for who you are, then fuck. In so many words, just fuck them. Like, yo, I've already went through that stage growing up of doing shit, of flashing money and all this other shit to get validated and to fit in and to do this and to do that. I'm at the point now, I do not give a fuck. Yeah. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have that sense of needing to be validated.
Right, because we're men. Yeah. And I think part of it is because, like how you said, every young I was traumatized and I lost my father stuff. You think that's part of the pitfall when you don't have
when you don't have guidance?
when you don't have guidance, you kind of fall into that.
Absolutely. But everything starts at home. Everything starts at
like I mean, guys from
a man teaching you that you don't need validation. Yeah, absolutely, because you have to learn everything on your own. Right. Absolutely.
I mean, we had to learn as we.
Ask yourself a question. Where would your kids be if you weren't in their life to teach them? Where would they be? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that. But then it's also like,
well, I think Bree is just out of here anyway. She won't even go baby. Yeah, I love her too.
Yeah, but it's like saying that is like, okay. It's like saying my mother never told me like, yo, you never need validation from nobody. I just chose to think what I wanted to think. That make that fit look like I was fitting in for something.
So you saying the fact that your mother, God rest her soul, was telling you things, you still did the other.
Right.
But listen to the point that he said. He said his father died. Your dad wasn't around either.
Right.
So that's traumatizing. No, he's alive. He's dead in your life. But that's his fault. He got to face his own shit.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, all right, at 8, I looked at the dude, Sean. Sean was only 16 and he was up there popping willies.
I see you, Kev, on Graham.
Shout out to Sean, wherever the fuck you at. But Sean was up there popping willies and shit, right? But Sean was only
shout
a kid
himself on Instagram.
You know, and I'm looking at Sean like, yo, Sean the man. Man, Sean only got an 8-year difference.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. No, I get what you're saying. It's kind of, yeah, it's definitely hard, especially when knowing that he's around and you knowing that he's not around. I get it.
Mm-hmm. So now that we tackle different type of validations, like where do we go to kind of change that course or that mindset of the people coming behind us, the era, the youth coming behind us to like, yo, stand on your own, be your own. Don't care if anybody calls you weird or different. You should be different. You don't have to fit in with nobody. Fit in with yourself. You know what I mean? Where do we go from here?
That's even weird because my son, he's an introvert, but he's a weirdo. Like I love him to death. Like he's a weirdo. He's into that shit I'm not into. The anime, the Rolu and all of those shit. Like that's not me. Mm-hmm. But you can I'm happy he's that way, right? Because I don't feel as though like how I grew up and how I acted, I want him to act. But when it comes to validation, he wants certain shit because somebody else got it that's validating him in his anime world. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of hard to be like, no, they don't like. It's okay to be a weirdo. It's okay to be a square. It's okay to be that, and feel as though that you don't have to fit in somewhere because you still have to validate your weirdness. You still have to validate your goofiness. You still have to validate that you're a fucking square to the rest of the fucking squares. To make them feel comfortable that you're not a fucking like a placement. Like you're just kind of being around them for a second because they're not fucking with you right now. Right. So it's kind of hard to be like it's gonna change, or you can make it change because it's not. Like it's really hard to be like it's gonna change. And like being a person who comes from that geeky shit, because I used to like all that little geeky shit. I still like it, but my level of upbringing was different because I had powder in my face. Like that's they don't need to know. But like you get what I'm saying.
You see my face lit up.
No, what I'm just saying. No, man was nah.
Tip my table.
It's like when people were putting shit in your face that you've seen every day, and it's like everybody around you weren't like you or didn't want to be like you, that changes it. Mm. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was like now being this tacky, still at this drawing off. Now I had to validate myself for niggas that wasn't there. Because now it's like everybody said, well, motherfuckers wear glasses, that like doing computers and shit until I start putting my hands on people. That go back to what you was saying.
Right.
That validated like, oh, this stuff go hands.
Right.
But now it turned into a monster.
It started
Like,
to feel good.
It started to feel so good.
You start popping.
Yeah.
No different from what Mike Tyson said when he used to get bullied.
Yeah.
He started putting hands on motherfuckers. Motherfuckers started respecting him. He was like, okay, now I got this wrestler. Like, yeah, motherfucker, hear me.
But and it goes the same way sexually.
Yeah.
Because once a motherfucker give you a pat on the back, oh damn, yeah, you hit shorty, you want to keep going and keep telling that same never-ending story about some shit that you had. But trying to change the narrative on the youth or whatever, trying to teach them that they don't need validation from anybody else, like it's got to be an uphill climb because of social media. Like Instagram, and TikToks and Twitters of the world. Like, they got people in there chasing some shit to feel accepted from everyone else. That's why everyone is doing the same thing when it comes to fashion, when it comes to music, when it comes to culturally doing any fucking thing. It's like, yo, does anybody dare to be different?
No, it's safe.
Yeah, it's safer to fit in instead of just being you.
That's because of the way the culture's being pushed. The way the culture's being pushed, like I'm talking about like the culture of the world.
Right.
The culture of the world is being pushed to be sensitive. So, like, you're at one time when we weren't scared to fail, now they're scared to fail. They're scared to, like, because I got little ones, so I see where the push around is different. So it's like, where I could be like, yo, man, like, fuck that, toughen up. They scared because it's like they're being taught that it's okay to fail. It is, but at the same time, you have to fucking get better. And
you gotta learn from the failures, man.
But the sensitivity part of everything right now is just wild. Like,
it just seemed like, and let me word this right. Let me word this right without really, because I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody.
Right.
But I gotta keep it a buck. I gotta keep it 100. Right. Even when it comes to sexuality, and I'm talking about LGBTQ, heterosexuality, whatever. The thing that stood out the most about people that grew up being lesbian, the fact that they did stand out, and the fact that they were different. You know what I mean? A lot of, once it came out of our era, stood for that. Now it seems like it's forced to what's the word I'm looking for? To fit in with it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or forcing people to fit in with it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I love you regardless. Like, you know, love who you love, be who you want to be with. But when you kind of question some of the things that they see or do, and that's just not them, that's heterosexuals too. Right. So let me throw that disclaimer in there. Right. It's like you get chastised for not just being on board with what's going on now, what's going on with the masses. And that's what I brought up before, where I think that the people that came before us in the era where they fought for equal rights for gay people, they've been exploited now. That's how I feel. I feel like they are being exploited. I think the media is exploiting them for profit and all the shit that they went through because they forcing you to go ahead and say, hey, you better be on board with this. You know what I'm saying? Or if not, you're in trouble. Like, because we have a lot of gay homeboys, a lot of lesbian homegirls that we've always loved, and this new shit that's going on, they not rocking with it. Because they do feel exploited, no matter what nobody fucking says. They feel, and I feel sorry. I feel sorry for them. Like,
yeah, it should be, you know, and they were expressing themselves when it wasn't about the thing to do. Mm-hmm. They were doing what they believed. Right.
Exactly. They were standing on their own 2 feet. Right. Period. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm gonna read a few comments real quick.
Shout out to everybody on Instagram, Facebook, man. If you tuning in late.
So the homie Ryan just posted. See, I don't think having different interests make people weird. Like tons of people are into anime is the world thing. So who's to say the people that into it aren't the weird ones? Like that.
I believe everybody got to fit in with everybody is fucking weird. I think it's weird for everybody to believe that they got to fit in with what everybody else wants. Yeah, that's what I believe is weird.
see, for me, what might be weird to me might not be weird to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
the word weird, see, that's another thing. Like, people get scared of the word weird. Nothing wrong with that shit. People make the word that person's weird as a fucking almost like they're a predator. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
If we stop acting like weird people are fucking bad people, then that's what it is what it is. It's that I don't do something that I think is weird because I never fucking watched cartoons, bro. Like, I didn't. Like, I just thought that being outside at the time when motherfuckers was falling in love with Marvel and shit, me popping my wheelies on my bike and shit like that, that was the thing to do. So if you had a lot of time, like that'd be like me shitting on Cuz because he's fucking like documentary king.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just think that when I was outside, I didn't have time to know who the fuck Spider-Man or I was with. I didn't have time to think about who Batman
I'm
fucking
not
was.
into that shit now. So when they go to do their DC Marvel comic movies and stuff, like, man, I ain't with that shit.
Yeah.
You fucking weirdos.
That,
like,
but
that's
it's
what I'm
not
saying, because I'm not into it.
But
You
it's
know
not,
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's not like saying weirdo, like, oh, like you trying to shit on, like,
No, I'm trying to shit on them.
you are.
I'm definitely trying to shit on
Now I
them.
gotta
Like,
fight you for my son.
see,
Now I gotta fight him for my son.
But see, that's funny because I was really into Marvel, and I felt like everybody within my peer group wasn't into Marvel, so I hate that shit.
Shout out to Booby.
Because when I was running amongst the pack, you know what I'm talking about.
the Brenna Abigail,
I was into my fucking mom. I was like, oh, yo, I like Wolverine and I like Spider-Man and all this other shit. But when I was amongst that pack, I put that shit
and scared to be
because
yeah, and that's the thing. Like when we go back at that time, then now, what boys then were scared to be themselves because they want a validation that they were still going to be around that pack.
Right.
Not saying that you thought that telling motherfuckers that you like Marvel was going to stop them from fucking with you.
Right.
We just never knew because we were trained different.
Right.
We were trained different, and then people think that no one, like, as a child you're not trained. That's a lie. Like you're trained.
You trained.
Right. And you know, the thing of being trained is like a lot of the kids now are trained to like this shit because the only thing they do is sit in the fucking house and play the video games.
Who follows that?
Go ahead, read this comment.
Go ahead, read the comment. Who is it though?
Sister Hopkins. All right, so you can't. She brings left the son. You can't look at Lil Nas X and the Beast of Boots. He doesn't know how to let things go or how to ignore anything. Unfortunately, the younger crowd are looking at people like him. As we grow up, celebrities have more influence over young people than actual people in their life.
That's the point. And it's a lot of validity into what she said. Let me get this out. We all here believe Lil Nas X is a troll. He's a fucking troll. It's a marketing tool. That has nothing to do with his sexuality. If you're gay, you're gay. I don't care. I don't care what you do in the fucking bedroom. But the fact of the matter is what pisses me off is the fact that he controls whoever he wants. But when you clap back, you can't do anything. I don't care if you're gay, heterosexual. If you clap at me, I'm coming 2 claps back. And I'm hitting below the belt, over top of your head. I don't give a fuck what I got to do to say to hurt your feelings because you came at me. I don't care if you are a gay man, I'm going to say you're a dick-sucking motherfucker. I don't care if you're a gay woman, I say you fucking carpet-munching motherfucker. I don't care if you're a straight man, I'm going to say you punk bitch-ass nigga. I don't care if you're a chick that got a little weight problem, I'm going to say you fat, funky bitch. I don't care. You get what I'm saying? Everybody's going to get this heat if you bring that shit to me. But the fact of the matter is, when somebody from another culture that they want you to accept without a fucking opinion says something, they don't think you can clap back. I'm clapping, dog. I don't give a fuck who you is.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm having somebody brought that up because I'm trying to get pretty good. But you know, but so, like, Lil Nas X, people, he can say whatever he wants to say. He can show whoever wants to show. But when a heterosexual person always speaks out like, yo, that's not what I grew up fucking with, or
You demonize
I
that
don't,
shit, man.
and then you got Big Frida coming out saying,
What's
Big Frida is the biggest fucking transgender out here in the
Big Star,
Big Star, like
Big Star.
Like that bitch.
Right,
Like,
Right.
But when that person come out like, no, he don't hate people. He just don't like Lil Nas X. Right? Like people don't understand that shit. Like I might not just not like you. Don't mean that I don't like the rest of them.
Right.
Like, yo, my best friend, bro, is a gay guy, bro. What the fuck is gay guy?
Right.
And he's your best friend. You don't care that he has a gay lover. You don't care. That's your friend. Like one of my best friends is gay. Like one of my best homegirls is a lesbian. I don't care who you fucking is something because I'm strictly clicky. That's what I like. I like pussy. Period.
You come at me, I'm gonna say something. Bro. And the thing is, it's gonna be people get so emotional because of Boosie because he's off the rent there anyway. Like that motherfucker is he don't give a fuck how much money he got. He still gonna let you know that he's a fucking New Orleans, no, Louisiana, fucking like street motherfucker.
Right.
He don't care. So once again, that could be another thing of validation. No, Boosie already said I would never work with this motherfucker. Right. I don't like this motherfucker. Right. I don't like people forget that he said I don't think that he's gay. I don't think that, and he thinks that he exploring gay people
on that's gay on Boosie staff.
Yeah, it is.
See people forget that
a lot of gay people. Even
the part
well
what we just tackled last week and we talked about Dave Chappelle. Right. You take this 10-second thing and chop it up, and you didn't hear the beginning, the middle, or the end of what he said on stage about him having a best friend that was a transgender woman who died.
Right.
And it was attacked by
fucking comedian. It wasn't even the funny thing about it. This is oh my God. And I know we kind of going off subject. But the thing that makes this beef go on isn't the fact that it's coming from anybody from the community. It's somebody that's not gay, I'm sorry, that think that they have to defend that community. It's somebody straight saying that shit. Right? It's somebody straight saying, oh no, we got cancer. Don't give up. People been saying what you ain't like for forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Somebody, Miss Thomas said, Andy, you need to speak your opinion, bro. Andy just uses back, like, the background. He's scared.
Yeah.
I'll push the button for him. Yeah, I mean, if he want me to say so, I'll push the button for him. But no, I just, but then there's another thing, like, what our topic is Boosie validating to his fellas that aren't the gay people understand that, oh, I'm not working. Like, I validate that my word is my word. I'm never going to work with you.
Let me read this comment on Instagram. Shout out to Erica_Lamar. What's up, love? What's up, Salty? She says, I don't think Boosie has a problem with the gay community. I think it's something about Lil Nas X taking shit overboard to being pregnant and the whole ever. I agree with that. Like, I believe his problem is definitely just with that one person. Yeah. Like, but anybody who's an adult knows that this is just marketing. Yeah. Whatever he's doing to show himself being pregnant, I don't care. Right. Because first and foremost, your kid can't be influenced by nothing if you got a hold on your child and teaching your child right from wrong. Right. You can teach your child whatever you want to teach your child. If other countries and other cultures can tell their child from birth, like, look, one day you might have to strap a bomb to your chest and run out and kill everybody. Right. Then you can teach your child whatever it is you want to teach your child. Right. Whatever somebody else is doing over there, that's their fucking business. As long as you don't bring that shit to my family and to my doorstep where it's not fucking allowed, right, then we have a problem. Whatever you want to do in your world is your world. Whatever I want to do in my world is my world. Whatever you want to do in your world is your world. You get what I'm saying? Just don't directly bring it to my doorstep. You know what the fuck you want.
Before people go crazy, right? Mm-hmm. was I not just humming that motherfucker's tune, yo?
Yeah,
Like
he makes
he
good
makes
music.
good music.
Right.
But it's just the way he goes about it. Like I don't need to see no videos because I know he's doing some shit that I'm gonna punch my TV for. But
Because it's not for you.
it's not for me.
But for people who like him and they love the lifestyle that he's promoting, that's what's wrong with that. That's for them. If your child or whoever you don't want to see, guess what? Put a restriction on your TV.
Right.
Watch.
Right.
Tell your child you can't watch this, or tell your child you can only watch TV or YouTube, whatever the fuck it is. They want to watch at a restricted time. That's it.
Like
You have the ability as a parent to restrict your child for whatever you want them to restrict them from.
You know, Tree said when we were raised, being gay wasn't just exposed. Like now, I feel like it's being forced down our throat. Fact. Hey, hold up.
And I'm see,
Because another one just came through.
I don't know.
Ocean is gay and nobody cares. He makes good music. Same with Sam Smith. Not Sam Smith. No, ex music isn't that good, so he needs answers. And that's the fact.
Can I get into the part of go ahead? I just want to get to the part of being of gay stuff being forced. I don't know if I believe that.
You don't believe it's been forced?
This I feel. Eric Clapton, right? That wasn't gay. Or am I thinking about somebody else?
Eric Clapton.
Sorry about Eric Clapton. Who I'm thinking about? The other singer, white guy, with the glasses. You know what?
Elton John.
I'm sorry, Eric Clapton.
Yeah, Elton John.
But listen,
It took him a long time.
All right, okay, but listen. Anything. That's how you felt. Anything that is new took a time for it to be accepted. Y'all gotta remember, like with us being black people, it took a while first of us to get out of physical bondage. Then it took certain times for us to gain certain rights and civil liberties.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff took time, right? So even with the gay community wanting equal rights and being accepted, it took time. You get what I'm saying? So now it's the time where it's being accepted. Because think about a time before we were born, when they didn't accept us, and what the rest of the world was going through in the mid '70s, when it finally started to change, and they got to realize that they got to be equal to us in the workforce. They got to be equal to us in the school system. They got to be equal to us into the military. All that shit took time. It ain't happen overnight. That's why I think this whole force shit is going way overboard.
That's why I say it's for. Right now, before I say why it's for, Tree said, Eric, as far as our children, not adults, like the cartoon. And that's why I want to go, because the forcing is this. Back then, yeah, we knew who was gay.
Right.
Like they said, Frank Ocean was gay off the break. No one stopped listening to his music. When he decided that he wanted more bread was when he got blackballed.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Smith let out the break before the song came out that he was singing to his guy that he just lost.
And the song was hot.
And the song was fire. Everyone
was
playing.
hot. That shit was hot.
I still listen to it.
This shit hot.
Right? Right. The force comes when a person who had one song that got remixed 1,000 fucking times, and now the remix not working. Then you have Cardi B at the prime of her fucking real estate. You had Nas being a fucking legend, and you have Megan Thee Stallion being at the prime of her real estate. Those songs don't do nothing. You wait until February is about to be over, the last day of gay pride, whatever it is, to say that you're gay. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, the trickle down effect. You may still have people like us that be like, look, be what you want to be, but whatever it is, whatever it is. Right. Obama opened up the floodgates, and there was a lot of people that I know that they didn't even think that shit was cool, because they like, why would I want to marry them? That goes against the rules. I'm already in sin. That's how they felt. That's not my word. That's how they felt. Right. Then you have now Batman fucking
now
thing.
that shit is going overboard. Now that's
the
going
force. This the force. Okay, y'all keep saying this. Y'all keep saying that. Now we're gonna change your shit. Superman, Robin is a fucking bisexual. They weren't even chasing bitches. We always thought that Robin was a little sweet from the outfit and the tights.
Yeah, wear the tights.
Yes.
But let me ask y'all this before we get up out of here. I know we started off, men dick riding.
Every show now, every show, you have to have someone gay in it now. It's not a real show where it's just heterosexual people no more. It's not. Look, the whole the Shy was about little kids. They turned it into the mother sucking and fucking everybody. That was all her little business. You feel me? They forced, but
I don't like
it's trash now because now you're forcing something that we didn't want.
But let me ask y'all this before we get up out of here. Because, we talk about men need validation of other men dick riding other men, and all that stuff, blah blah blah. Every time we do a pod, it always take a turn. The conversation always take a turn. That's cool though. Everybody else on Instagram and Facebook, man, look, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you haven't tuned into us before, please go back on YouTube, punch in Perfect Sense, or you can go to UnifiedRadio.tv, look at Imperfect Sense. You can go to Spotify, Imperfect Sense. You can go to Apple, Imperfect Sense. You go to SoundCloud, Imperfect Sense. Podcast, boom, 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 boom. It's all there. My teeth is big. But the biggest change I can say about a time from where we grew up to now is when we grew up, they let adults be adults. These adults, right? These adults today don't know how to separate. So I'm a prime example. Eddie Murphy's Raw comes out. Right? What's that, 86?
Won't happen today.
Wait a minute, no, not that. 86, 87.
Yeah.
Betamax, not VHS, Betamax tape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how old that is. My grandmother, God rest her soul. My aunt, God rest her soul. Mother, uncle, everybody's in there. You know how the family used to have a little get together, everybody, they smoking reefers. You know what I'm saying? We smoking the reefers and the Newport, drinking the box of wine.
But it was on the table.
Drinking a box of wine with the gin and all that.
Right.
So here I come out with my little animal drawers on, youngin. Guess what the adults say? Get the fuck out of here. This ain't for you.
Right.
This era today in parenting, you know what these parents do? Give them their phone, give them their game. They don't give a fuck what they doing. Or if the child don't have that access to that, you sitting there watching some adult shit and your child sitting right next to you. They want to be their child's best friend and not their child parent.
Fuck that.
You get what I'm saying?
Brooke phone is fucking on watch. She has to download shit.
That's the point. Everybody want to place a blame somewhere else.
Wow.
You have to look in the fucking mirror. Like that's how I raised my son. When certain shit come on, yo, you gotta. Even when it came to dating women come see me, come over to the crib. No, shorty, you can't come here till he goes to sleep. And then guess what? If you stay the night, you're gonna get the fuck out of here before he wakes up. He's not even gonna know you was in here. You know what I'm saying? Because everything ain't for everybody, and everything ain't for a child. Period. You gotta keep a child in the child's place, and that's what's wrong with people. They don't keep a child in a child's place.
And I agree with it because when I was a young, I remember this. When the lights went from like the bright lights to the daggone red light, it was time for me to go to bed. It was adult time. When that red light came on, my ass was upstairs.
When that fucking 8-track came out, and I smelt the fucking match.
Well, you knew it was adult time when they said, time for you to take a bath.
Right.
Grandma, it's 7:45. I don't give a shit. You wake up. Time you take a bath. Okay.
You wake up to piss. You better not smell a reefer.
At all. You couldn't be around adults doing adult things. You don't know you know what I'm saying? And that shit is still carried within my family right now. Like, we don't use certain language. We don't do certain things. Like, no, you gotta wait. That excuse. A lot of people ain't doing that because they want to be their child best friend. Because guess what? They don't want their child to look at them at no type of way like they can't trust mommy, they can't trust daddy, they can't talk to daddy, they can't talk to mommy. So you want to be your fucking child friend. No. I'm your father. That's your mother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Those were the lines need to be fucking drawn. People not drawing them lines.
And the shit is so crazy. It's like everybody was so hype over this Squid Game shit, and all these kids is hype over it. I'm like, so you telling these kids that to play these Squid Games that we was playing, they lose, they die. Like that shit cool to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't watched it because it's just
I haven't got into it yet. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try tonight.
This for me. I don't like watching shit that other people have.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's
Because it's gonna be trash.
When you tell me,
guess who the king of that?
What?
Andy. That shit hot. It's hot.
When you tell me.
You talking about what you trash?
You know. We ain't gonna get into it right now. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother.
But I'm just saying that, like, so it's okay to watch, let your kids watch that shit with you. Like, now, even if it's a cartoon, supposedly, I watch it first before I let Brooke watch it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, yo, like she said, like the show Loud, you would think that shit was some good family shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the change, whoa, man. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna go real quick because Ryan said, yo, like, then you had Chucky. Now you're a gay activist. Because you seen the new show? On the new show, the person that he holds him now, this little boy is scared to let his friends know that he's gay. Why are you scared to let your friends know that you're gay in 2021? Mm-hmm. It's no such stuff. Bro.
Oh, you talking about Chucky the dog?
Yeah.
Oh,
Chucky's a gay activist now. When did that happen? Like, why Chucky's just not killing shit? Wow. Why Chucky has to be like, damn, I'm protecting you because they're talking about you because you're gay. Talking about you because you're family. Bro, like, that. But it all, like I said, it goes back to being, wow. When men say want to watch something, they got to go to sleep. But sometimes we never get to watch it because little gangster.
Right. You sacrifice a lot because she won't go to bed. Then you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Right. So it's like when a lot of people are like, oh, you didn't see this shit yet? No, because the kids did. Mm-hmm. And if they not upstairs, then they down there. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's hard to watch this shit, but it's also like what I was raised. Like I was raised. Only thing they allowed me to watch them was when you came home from school and fucking Days of Our Lives and shit on. Mm-hmm. That was the most ratchet shit that you got to watch back in the day. Mm-hmm. Days of Our Lives. What was the other little?
Miss Chancellor been alive for 117 years.
They never died. They just changed the time. No. Like, but it goes back to that whole point of, like you said, like we blaming all around people, bro. Everybody is out here blaming these shows, but why are we allowing our kids to watch? That's where I agree with you. That something can't be forced if you're not allowing them to watch. Yeah. But then when it comes to attacking your child, that where now I had to cancel Disney because Brooke loves that shit. And Brielle. Mm-hmm. But now they have a fucking cartoon on there when like they kissing the girl and shit. Mm-hmm. And like I'm not saying nothing wrong, I got nieces to get, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, like, they're my kids, though. Mm-hmm. I don't want them to be forced to think that this is okay until they feel like they're old enough to be like, all right, Dad, that's what I want. Mm-hmm. I don't like to be, all right, well, I'm going to cry a little bit. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
because you crying because you want grandkids.
Yeah.
But all right, let's do this because we got to take something right now. Give me your final thoughts on men needing validation among men. I know we went a little back because I'm into the question right. So what's your final thoughts on it?
My final thoughts on it, I mean, it's true. I mean, you look at anything. Like, I think everything has certain levels, and as you get older, you kind of form your own ideas and say, oh, I'm comfortable in my own skin. But when you're coming up, you look up to the older ones, you know, and then also you have a group here, and you kind of almost fall in line. So wherever, like for instance, if they're into like collecting basketball cards, I'm into collecting basketball cards. If you're into video games, I'm into video games.
Validation.
It's all about it, but it's no difference. There's no difference between, even though if you look like even in the animal kingdom, you have pets. You have with lions, you have the pride or whatever. It's the same freaking thing. You just hope that you can survive for it. You survive for it.
Conway, real quick, bro, real quick.
All that I want to say is like men been needing validation since the end of time from other men. The only way you're going to change that is if you basically say, look, I like this, and I'm going to go and get that. Because that's the only time that you feel yourself. So if you want to feel yourself, all the sensitive shit, most of the sensitive shit is coming because people don't know how to be themselves. Now, I'm not saying that if you like a pair of Jordans, go get a pair of Jordans. But make sure you like them shit because you like it. If you like Vans, like the kids look like Vans, go got them. I mean, if you like some shit with no name on it that everybody ain't there eating, but it look good on you, go copy because at the end of the day, it's about how you feel. And truth be told, you might be wearing some shit that somebody else wanna fucking like anyway, but like, man, they following your trend. So at the end of the day, to me, it's like, man, fuck it, like, be you.
I'm gonna piggyback off Conway. Shout out to everybody tuned in via Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah,
Please,
salute
go
everybody,
back, watch
man.
everything that we got on YouTube, Punching and Perfect Sense. Look us up on Spotify for your podcast news, SoundCloud for the podcast news, UnifiedRadio.tv for everything, Apple for everything. And like I said, to piggyback off Conway, just be a trendsetter and not a trend follower. We need grown men who actually, need a validation from other men to change their narrative to the generation coming after you. Because it's much more easier in life to live in your own truth and not have to prove stuff to another person. Living in the truth, man, because people stressing themselves out trying to give validation to people. It's leading us to early death.
Yep.
It's leading us to jail cells.
Yep.
It's leading us to financial ruin. Trying to prove ourselves to another man instead of proving ourselves to who we need to, and that's ourselves.
Right.
So with that being said, and another thing too, and I know this conversation with Beth. Real quick, when I grew up, Andy had a birthday, right? For that birthday, I got him the Chronic album by Dr. Dre. The rental advisory sticker on the tape, which was a cassette tape, was on. I could not purchase that cassette tape without someone else 18 years old. So my thing is, what I believe should happen, since parents, you don't want to do your job and tell your kids, hey, you can't watch this. I think when it comes to streaming services, that includes YouTube and Netflix and Disney, that if there's certain things that contain certain things, kids shouldn't be allowed to access them without a parent's permission. And that's without a parent setting any type of boundary on their own. I believe the streaming services should set them themselves because they have a responsibility and duty to do right by you. And there's been another edition of Imperfect Sense right here on UnifiedRadio.tv. Shout out to everybody on Instagram, Facebook. Like I said, all the streaming services, including YouTube, be up there.
Yeah.
I'll let you know, man. Love you all.